Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Soupier. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about something important when I was coming back from California and I was checking out Yosemite and I was moving more east. So this is going to come up kind of in another video where I wanted to cover some areas. If I showed you a map of the United States, there is much more dispersed camping or camping where you can boondock for free on the west side of the United States because there's tons of BLM land and tons of national forest lands or state lands where you can disperse camp or you could park for free or very cheaply. But as you go more east, you might have to make a reservation at a campsite. And when I was traveling east from California upon visiting Yosemite, when I was traveling back east, I found myself having to make a campground reservation. So I paid $48, I think was the most expensive one. And the three things that they have there, I didn't need. I didn't need a 240 outlet to hook up my electricity. I didn't need a water hookup, and I really didn't need a sewage hookup because all of my stuff is self-contained in a minivan. Now, I had to park at this place, and it was kind of funny. I just pushed my minivan into this really big concrete pad that was designed for like a 38-foot toy hauler or a Class A motorhome or a motor coach. And it was funny because I was surrounded by these guys, and these people would approach me and talk to me about my setup. They all thought it was cool, no negative judgment. I toured some amazing, they're not really RVs. They're like a home on wheels. I really checked out a couple of them, and they're pretty cool. So I got no negative feedback or anything like that, at least not to my face, but I paid $48 for that. Now, when I was moving more east, I had to make another reservation. And this gentleman actually asked me, hey, he said, as long as your vehicle is under 18 feet, because I was talking to him, I have a minivan, and because they ask you how big it is. And I said, well, I have a minivan that's 17 feet. He said, good, well, I can put you in a tent site if you really want because your vehicle's under 18 feet long. Now, it's an important rule to ask them if the site is hike-in or not, because there have been some tent sites to where you actually have to hike into it, which obviously if you have to hike into it, your minivan's not going to be able to get there. But that was an important thing that was brought up. And another thing I always ask if I'm camping with more than one person, if they would allow two minivans to park there. Because when I was coming home, I reserved a tent site. I called them, and I had a buddy of mine that I met up with, and he was caravanning with me. And we asked for a tent site, and we got it for, I think, like $14 for two minivans over